There's just something about the late hours, isn't there? That hush that falls when, most of the world is asleep. It can feel different.
Yeah, definitely different.
And if you're out working in that darkness, especially alone, that difference can sometimes turn, unsettling.
For sure.
So tonight we're going to recount 3 first-hand experiences. These were shared on the YouTube channel Whispered Diaries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're stories from pizza delivery drivers working really late, dead of night stuff, where a simple drop-off became something much more disturbing.
Right. So these aren't your usual tales of, forgotten dips or cold pizza?
No, not at all. These are personal accounts, straight from drivers who ran into something genuinely frightening out there on their late shifts.
Really puts you in their shoes, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first story. It takes us to a Friday night, just about closing time. A 16-year-old kid working for Pizza Hut.
Just 16, wow.
Yeah. Gets an order, and the address leads him kind of away from the usual streets. GPS took him to what looked like, a residential area first. But then it directed him down this road that just ended.
Right.
At a park with a walking path.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, no houses, no businesses nearby. Just empty park, late, dark. He said it immediately felt wrong.
I bet. That feeling of, the unexpected. A pizza order to a park that late. That's already pretty odd.
Exactly. And then he sees a man sitting alone on a bench on the path, just waving him over.
Waving him over. Okay.
Paying in cash, too. It all just adds to this, growing sense that something isn't quite right here.
Yeah, that's a few red flags already.
Right. So as the driver gets closer, the man stands up. He's fumbling with his money, but he's also talking to himself.
Oh. What was he saying?
Just repeating things like, I'm okay, everything's going to be okay, over and over.
Oh.
But the driver said he noticed this real fear in the guy's eyes. Like a desperate helplessness. It really stood out.
So he seemed scared before anything even happened with the driver.
Yeah, exactly. It suggests he was already, distressed. Makes you wonder what he was doing there alone so late.
Right. What put him in that state?
We don't find out. Because then, just out of nowhere, a tall person wearing a cloth mask appears, holding a knife.
Whoa, okay.
Demands the driver hand over everything. But here's the really strange part.
What?
They completely ignored the money the driver dropped on the ground. Just ignored it.
Didn't want the money.
Nope. Instead, they forced both the driver and the man from the bench into the woods, off the path.
Okay, that's not robbery then. That's way scarier.
Exactly. When someone armed ignores the valuables, it points to something else entirely, doesn't it? Something maybe more predatory. Abduction seems like the goal there.
Definitely, getting them away from the open path.
Yeah. So they're being led deeper into the darkness, and then suddenly the man from the bench, he shoves the driver hard to the ground.
What? No way.
Yeah, and then he just runs. Takes off.
And the masked person?
Doesn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
Just chases after the guy who ran, leaving the driver there. Alone. Terrified.
Wow. It's shocking. An act of self-preservation, I guess.
Must be. But imagine being the driver. Pushed down. Left behind.
Yeah, that's rough. You understand the instinct, maybe, but still. It's messed up. He basically used the driver.
Right. So the driver, obviously shaken, and probably feeling pretty betrayed too, scrambles back to the path, calls the police.
Good.
They showed up fast, but nothing. No sign of the masked person, no sign of the other guy. Vanished.
And
Gone. So the driver's left with this chilling feeling, what did that person in the mask really want? And it's just so ironic, isn't it? The other man's desperate move both endangered the driver and maybe ultimately saved him.
It's a strange twist, yeah. Leaves you with so many unanswered questions, the lack of a clear motive beyond just getting them into the woods. Deeply unsettling. Was it random? Or something else?
We just don't know. Okay, let's move to the next account. This one takes us to a small town. Maybe 2 a.m.
Middle of the night again.
Yep. A driver for a local pizza place is out on a back road. One of those, rarely used roads cutting through the woods. The type. Typical for a rural, spread out area.
Oh, yeah. Pretty isolated out there that late.
Sets a mood.
For sure. That kind of isolation can feel pretty eerie just on its own, can't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. A lone driver, deserted road, forest all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, definite vulnerability there.
Right. So wouldn't you know it, the driver's old car starts acting up, sputtering, and then just stops. Dead.
Oh, no.
Stranded. And the gas gauge shows half a tank, but the car just won't restart.
Ugh, classic old car trouble.
Totally. So annoyed, stranded, the driver gets out to like check under the hood or something, and that's when they see it.
What?
A figure standing in the fog, way down the road, back the way they came from.
Oh, creepy. Just standing there.
Just standing there. That initial sight must have been pretty unnerving, right? In that isolation.
Definitely. Any unexpected person feels like, well, potential threat out there.
Yeah.
So sensibly, the driver calls a coworker for a ride. They figure it'll be about a half-hour wait. Then they call the customer, explain the delay, standard procedure, trying to handle it.
Makes sense. Just gotta wait it out.
Yeah. But while waiting for that whole half hour, that image of the figure in the fog, it's playing on their mind.
I bet.
They keep checking the mirrors, but don't see anything at first. Just that feeling, Totally alone, foggy, empty road, darkness pressing in, limited visibility. Must have been intense.
Oh yeah. Your mind starts racing in those situations. The fog, the quiet, it amplifies everything. Anxiety, suspicion.
Exactly. Then, after about 30 minutes, just when maybe they're thinking their ride is close, they hear footsteps.
Oh, from where?
Coming from the woods, beside the road.
From the woods, not the road.
Right. And a man emerges from the darkness, walks right up to the car, and smiles. Like friendly, knocks on the window.
Okay, that's sudden.
Yeah,
And the smile, after the figure in the fog. Weird contrast.
super weird. Almost makes it more unsettling, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is it genuine friendliness, or is it something else? Puts you right on edge.
Totally. So what happened?
The driver explains, can't roll down the window, car's dead. So the man tries the door handle.
Tries the door. Okay, not friendly anymore.
Right. Finds it locked. Then he walks around to the back, to the trunk, and seems to be, fiddling with it. Or trying to hide something there. Wasn't clear.
At the trunk. That's suspicious.
Very. And just then, headlights appear, cutting through the fog down the road.
Ah, the coworker.
Presumably. So the man at the trunk sees the approaching car, watches it for a second, and then bolts. Runs straight back into the forest and disappears.
Whoa. Okay, so the headlights definitely scared him off.
Seems like it. The coworker pulls up, cautiously. Turns out they'd also spotted the man lurking near the car as they approached.
Oh, wow. So they saw him, too.
Yeah. And then comes the really chilling part. On the ride back, the coworker tells the driver they saw the man holding a gun.
A gun. Seriously.
A gun. Suddenly, that friendly knock, trying the door, messing with the trunk, it all clicks into place, right? Much more sinister.
My God. Yeah. That changes everything. He wasn't just some random guy.
Not at all. And later, when they got the car towed, it had broken into, looted.
Ah, so robbery was part of it.
Part of it, yeah. Turns out the gas gauge was faulty. Tank was bone dry.
Huh. So that's why it stopped.
Yep. But the intentions of the man with the gun, beyond the robbery? Who knows? It's terrifying. There haven't been any updates. That driver was just left thinking, what if their friend hadn't shown up right then?
Chilling. It really shows how fast things can escalate, doesn't it? Just a car breakdown turning into, well, potentially something much worse. Especially alone out there.
Exactly. Okay, one last story for tonight. This one involves a Papa John's driver, college kid, working a closing shift.
Another late one.
Yeah. So most of the night was just the usual, waiting around for orders. This particular delivery came in just after 11 p.m. Seemed totally normal.
Standard run.
Looked like it. 10-minute drive, regular neighborhood, mid-sized homes. Pretty routine.
Right. That's how most deliveries are, totally uneventful, which is what makes these stories stand out, I guess. When the ordinary suddenly isn't.
Exactly. So the driver pulls up to this house, totally typical looking, walks up to the front door about to ring the bell, and notices a sign taped to the door.
A sign.
Handwritten, it said, "Do not knock or use doorbell."
Weird. Why?
That's what the driver thought. And the note looked brand new, like crisp paper, clearly put up just for this delivery. Which is odd, right?
Yeah.
Why would someone do that for a pizza?
Yeah, that immediately makes you wonder, are they trying not to wake someone? Or is there some other reason they want the delivery to be super quiet? Raises questions.
Definitely. So the driver decides to call the number on the order instead.
Smart move.
The phone rings once, and they hear it. Faintly. A muffled ringtone from inside the house, kind of towards the back.
Okay, so someone's definitely home.
Seems like it, but
Yeah.
then the call gets declined.
Decline.
Yeah. Nobody comes to the windows, nothing, just silence again after that muffled ring. That must have felt very strange.
For sure. It's like someone's there, but they're actively avoiding contact, declining the call. That just adds to the weirdness.
Totally. Then, all of a sudden, the quiet is just shattered. Loud footsteps, chaotic, sprinting down the stairs inside the house.
Whoa, sprinting.
Yeah, like shaking the whole place, heading right for the front door. The contrast, from total silence to that must have been really jarring.
Yeah, it sounds like panic or urgency inside. The driver's confusion probably turned to alarm pretty quick.
I would think so.
Oh.
So a few 10 seconds pass. Then the door opens. It's a man. And the driver described him as having this blank, empty look on his face.
Empty look, okay.
Driver hands over the pizza, and right after, like the second the exchange is done, there's a loud thump from inside the house.
A thump? What kind of thump?
Just a loud thump.
Yeah.
That's all the driver heard. And immediately the man slams the door shut, locks it.
Slams it and locks it.
Yep. And the driver then hears the man run back down the hallway away from the door. The whole interaction sounds incredibly unsettling.
Wow. Yeah. The blank look, the quick exchange, the thump inside, the door slam, running away. That paints a really strange, potentially disturbing picture behind that door.
Right. So the driver just waits there for a second, listens.
Yeah.
Here's nothing else. But they have this strong gut feeling,
Yeah.
that something is seriously wrong.
Understandable.
So they get back in their car, drive to a nearby spot, and call the police. Request a wellness check.
Good call. Acting on that feeling, even without knowing specifics, that's responsible.
Definitely. But here's the thing. The police went, checked it out, and later reported back that they found nothing to worry about, said only the man lived there.
Nothing. But the driver had the phone ring in the back and the thump.
Exactly. The driver was sure they heard something else, and that's where the phone had run from. So despite the police report, the driver just couldn't shake this feeling that something sinister, something bad might have happened in there that night.
Yeah, that discrepancy, the driver's experience versus the official report. It leaves you with that lingering unease, doesn't it? Makes you wonder what a quick check might miss.
It really does. So there you have it. 3 different late-night deliveries, right? Each one taking a really dark, really unexpected turn.
Yeah, these stories, they definitely bring home the potential risks, the unsettling things delivery drivers might face, while, the rest of us are home safe.
It's true. Working alone, out in the darkness, they really are stepping into the unknown every single night.
And these accounts, they're a stark reminder, aren't they? That even in jobs that seem ordinary, people can find themselves in these extraordinary, sometimes terrifying situations. It makes you think about those hidden vulnerabilities.
It really does. Well, if these stories gave you the chills, or maybe just made you think.
Yeah, hopefully in a good way.
Right. Please give us a like. Maybe share this with someone else who enjoys these kinds of unsettling tales.
And definitely subscribe to Horror Docs if you want more stories that explore that darker side of the everyday.
Absolutely. We'll catch you next time.
Stay safe out there.